Oh, I guess I'll do one more. You see why I say all the time that none of us ever thinks about sudden violence? None of us ever thinks about this. None of us that ever leaves our house ever thinks about leaving your house, going to the corner store, going to your job, and getting attacked by loose dogs. This woman was mauled to death by dogs after the neighbors complained about a pack of 25 Great Danes running loose in their neighborhood. Nobody ever thinks about this because we think that we live in a first world country. We think that everything is relatively safe. You may think that I live in the suburbs. That doesn't happen around here. It could literally happen around anywhere. I told y'all recently that there is an old man that is literally 3 houses away. I don't know what this guy's problem is. He's a older Hispanic man. I would say maybe in his 80s, and his what is that dog? I think the dog is a pit bull and it's mixed with something else. And the dog keeps escaping from his yard, right? I have walked past his house a couple of times. I won't knock on the door because the man doesn't have control of his dog in the first place. I've seen him before. I don't think he speaks English. I do speak Spanish, so that would not be a problem. But I don't want to knock on the door and then this dog is going to get out when I'm trying to communicate with this man and ask him why does his dog keep escaping from the backyard and coming over to my house. I don't understand this. This is a problem. Somebody commented and said, "Well, you shouldn't freak out, and you should do this." And I did see that comment, and sir, you may be, you are possibly and probably undoubtedly more of a dog expert than I am. I do not have any experience with dogs. I've never owned a dog before. And dogs are quite unpredictable. There is a cat, a feral cat. Well, he wasn't feral. Actually, a neighbor of mine used to live uh, near here. And she actually put him out before she moved out. Well, she was actually evicted, and this cat won't go away. And we feed him, the people in my area, but he's skittish. He stays away from people. The one thing I know is he's not big enough to fucking bite my throat out. Okay. When I see a stray dog, especially a pit bull, I don't want to be around that dog. I don't know what that I know what the dog is capable of. The dog is capable of mauling me really bad, and I am not going to try to figure this dog out. If the dog is a stray dog, the dog does not to be. If the dog is loose without its owner, that's what I meant to say. The dog does not need to be loose without its owner. And therefore, I do not know what this dog's intentions are. I do not pet anybody's stray dog or anybody's dog that I don't know. My neighbor has a very, very, very cute dog. He's an old dog. I love the dog. I always pet the dog. The dog always sees me, runs up to me. He's a sweet old senior dog. Anybody else's dog, I don't know your dog. Your dog does not know me. Your dog does not need to come near me. Your dog does not need to come near me. So his dog that keeps escaping. This is a problem. And I'm pretty sure other people have noticed this because that dog roams the neighborhood once in a while. And I don't trust the dog. And this is the reason why I've been carrying my Glock 26 a whole lot walking around my neighborhood. Because if this dog comes near me, I have it in my hand right now. It has a nice red laser, and I'm going to leave it at that. Rest in peace to this woman, and I keep hammering it home over, excuse me, and over again. You must be armed at all times. I remember, oh God, this was an old video. This was an elderly woman in California. I will never forget this. Will never forget this video. If I find it, I will stitch it to this video. It was an elderly white woman in California, and she had a dog problem in her neighborhood. There were people that were not watching their dogs, and they kept getting loose in her neighborhood. And she, back then, she was like 100 and something pounds. You know what she did? She was determined not to be a victim. And one day when she was taking a walk in her neighborhood that she was comfortable in, she lived in, whatever, her neighbors, I think it was two pit bulls, got loose and they were running towards her, being very vicious. And she calmly and steadily pulled out a fillet knife and she deleted both of those dogs, which goes to show you a knife, even in the hands of 100-pound woman, is very, very dangerous. I remember this. So I am not advocating for the destruction of dogs because I understand a lot of you white people get very emotional over these four-legged animals. That's the truth. I've had people come at me for even talking like this. I'm not calling for the murder of dogs. I'm calling for the preservation of human life. You have to have a knife, male or female. I preach this to everybody. My whole family, just about, except for one of my nieces. I always love calling her. My family is a family of hoplophobes. I'm like one of the only one that has a whole house full of guns. When they found out that I had guns, to this day they look at me like I'm the devil incarnate. They don't understand why I love guns. They never understood why I joined the army. They don't get me, and I don't care. Weapons are just tools. It's the right tool for the right job. And I'm going to leave it at that. Rest in peace to this woman, somebody's mother, deleted by a pack of 25 Great Danes. Can you imagine who the hell would even own 25 Great Danes? That sounds insane to me. How would you get rid of all the poop every day? Come on, man. This is a tragedy.